I asked the Whiskey Tribe of Magnificent Bastards for some recommendations for beginner bourbons. I got some good options there. And from each of those respective distilleries, I upgraded it into its more premium counterpart, and then we're going to go into a blind tasting and see what happens. Hello. Skylord. What?
Yes. Skyla.
Skylar.
Skyla.
Skylar.
Skyla.
Skylord and I have only exchanged about 2 sentences with each other
Hi, Rex.
in a meeting. Nice to
Sky.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome aboard. She's our newest bartender,
Hello.
and we want her to give us a guided tasting of everything she knows about bourbon.
Oh, good stuff.
You said you were an expert in your interview.
Yeah,
so-
no, I definitely lied on my resume.
Fine, I'll do it. Do you happen to know Rule 1 in our community?
I'm not telling you. I'm looking at you for pressure.
She went for a little cheat code, and you're like, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Rule 1 in the Whiskey Tribe is the best whiskey is the whiskey you like to drink the way you like to drink it. The fact that you have a favorite and you're wrong about it, it's okay.
I thought you
learn.
just said your favorite type of whiskey is the best
Look,
whiskey.
the only thing I have going for me is hypocrisy. Without that, I'm nothing. This is what we do. You blindfold yourself.
Is this a dirty?
No, it's clean. It's clean.
Okay.
Sorry, that, don't worry about that.
That's clean.
Stinky.
It's fine.
Okay.
We're diving into a comparison between 2 different offerings from the renowned Four Roses Distillery. We have their classic Four Roses Bourbon and the much-loved Four Roses Single Barrel. The standard Four Roses Bourbon is a blend of all 10 of their bourbon recipes, and in this corner, we have the Four Roses Single Barrel. This bourbon's not blended. It's coming from a single barrel, which means it can showcase a more robust and pronounced flavor profile. You may observe. This is going to be an A-B comparison. It's one of the simplest, easiest, most effective things you can do in a blind tasting, because if you're not able to grab specific notes out of the air, it's easier whenever you're going back and forth. So on the left, on the nose, do we know how to nose a whiskey in a Glencairn?
You just stick it right in there, huh?
If you're trying to get specific layers, it helps if you don't only breathe through your nose. If you breathe in through your nose and your mouth at the same time, then it lets the vapors pass through, and you want to bring it right up to the point where you're getting the most amount of that nose.
And sometimes you just need to back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I hardly ever go really deep into the glass because it's just really sensitive.
What is it like? It's never going to be exactly this one thing.
Smelling vanilla.
Oh, yeah, and
Sure.
a bourbon, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to lead you too much with notes. I want to see what you're finding. And if you go back to the B there,
This one I'd say is a little woodier.
a little bit more dense and rich and woody, and then a little bit more bright and sweet on the left.
Yes.
You want to go in?
Yep.
Let's start with the left.
Ready.
Hey, it's a bourbon.
That's what it tasted like.
That's gonna be. It does fall off a cliff pretty quickly. It doesn't. The finish isn't very long.
This one, I kind of get a little bit of like berries, kind of a raspberry on the nostrils. And then I almost get like a little hay quality on the taste. All right, we're going to the next one. Oh, you're mouthing it.
I'm getting a little, maybe a little citrus.
Okay, a little more citrusy.
More citrusy than the other, for sure.
You have a preference?
2.
Number 2. All right, Skylord.
Skylord sniffing turn!
Tell me.
Your favorite. It's actually nope.
Yep.
What are you doing?
That's the wrong way to put that on.
That's gonna be a Four Roses single barrel.
Interesting.
Now the one you did not choose, this was the standard Four Roses. So you did the upgraded one. And this is a very popular option in our community of whiskey lovers.
So this is mine now, right? I get to keep this?
Well,
Yay! I'm so glad I came here.
well,
Put that in my
Lady
stash.
Sniffington is mooching.
jeez. What is that?
This episode sponsored by
Brooklinen.
Admittedly, sheets and bedding is one of these things I never really thought about. It's like
I think about them constantly.
Do you?
Yes.
Because I always assumed like, a sheet's a sheet. Who cares?
No, it's not at all.
Well, the only thing I knew about sheets was like thread count. If it has a really high, mile-high thread count, then it's good quality sheets. But
Yes, of course, softness is a factor.
Thread counts.
But what you really want is it to be light and you want it to be crisp,
Yeah.
okay? Because if it's that, 3 combinations right there, you won't wake up in a pool of your own sweat, okay? There's so many sheets out there and all they care about is being way too soft or they're just bad and you get really hot and you want to die. So you need to invest in some quality sheets.
All right, so I've been using Brooklinen, I don't know, probably about a year now. This is the color that I'm using here. These are the pillowcases. We got the core sheet set right here. Yeah, you've been using Brooklinen as well?
Yes.
Okay, what's your experience with the Brooklinen so far?
I love my Brooklinen sheets, dude. Brooklinen sheets are guaranteed to feel like the cool underside of the pillow always.
Wait, that's the best side of the pillow.
Yes, it is, and they feel like that always.
If the Magnificent Bastards want to try out the Brooklinen for themselves, where are they going?
You're gonna get $20 off your Brooklinen order over $100. Click the link in the description below or use code WhiskeyXTribe at checkout.
Next up, we have Maker's Mark, a classic wheated bourbon out of Loretto, Kentucky. It's crafted using a mash bill that favors red winter wheat instead of the traditional rye. And Maker's 46. This expression takes the original bourbon and adds a twist. Specially seared French oak staves are inserted into the barrels, and now we're going to find out if those additional steps in making Maker's Mark 46 have a noticeable difference in this wheated bourbon. Good eye contact, by the way.
Yeah.
Very professional. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Skylord Sniffington!
I've arrived. Blind still.
Blind Lord.
So let's start with your left on the nose.
Nose in it.
Like on both of these, I'm getting a candied cherry.
I'd say on the right, cherry. Not so much cherry on the left for me.
I agree, you're wrong. We agree, we are in agreement
Got
that
another
he
lady
is
here?
incorrect. Yes. You're bad.
Just smell alone. Nose in it. I prefer the left.
Let's go in on the left.
Okay. Ooh.
Very smooth.
Smooth is also one of those words that
Yeah.
whenever you get deeper into the scene, people will be like, well, smooth, it doesn't mean anything. But what we've been able to narrow it down to is smooth, it's not a flavor, but it can absolutely be a texture. Yeah. Miranda's going to teach you a nosing technique whenever you're in one of these situations where you know there's more there than what you're able to smell just out of the glass. Yeah. She's going to teach you a very special technique. But I'm going to need you to teach me a thing or two about how to hustle pool players.
How do you actually say it?
I'll walk up and like, is anyone next? Anyone next on the table? They're like, oh no, I don't think so. Do I? You want to play? You know, because I'm
Right. You wanna play?
You want to play? Oh, and yeah, and then they're like, do you know how you know how to hold it? I'm like, oh, like this, like yeah. They break, and then I'm like, they'll hit a couple in, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then just 1, 2, 3, just knock them in. They just stare at me. Sorry, your turn. Your stripes.
Wow, so you just...
You take their money?
I don't play for money. I play for maybe a beverage.
Also money.
do as I do.
Okay,
Take it in hand.
and hand.
Just a little bit like this. And
Rub it
then
in.
rub them together.
You want it to get basically dry.
Yeah.
Rubbing through the liquid on your hands. Often going to give another layer.
So for me, I got a strong apple doing that. And so when I went back, it almost gave me a caramel, chocolatey apple note.
I get caramel.
All right, I'm going to try the one on the right.
Now that one feels a little thicker. Maybe what I meant by smooth is dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it didn't feel very...
Like it disappears faster?
Yeah, yeah, it didn't feel like it like stayed in my, like coated anything. I think I lose the cherry in the taste for that one.
Okay, do you have a favorite between these two?
Left.
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 Left, okay. This isn't nerve-wracking at all. That's going to be the Maker's 46.
Yeah.
The 46.
Okay.
And this is the other one.
This is just a standard.
Standard makers.
Standard Maker's
Again.
Mark. A wheated bourbon, which means that they're using wheat in place of the rye. And you very often get that softer mouthfeel. You're talking about the smoothness. And then that cherry note is also in a lot of wheated bourbons.
But it didn't show up in this one.
Interesting.
Weird.
But the Maker's 46, this has French oak staves. They take 10 staves out of the barrel, they sear French oak staves, and then it's gonna give you that slightly different profile. I love what French oak does. And yeah, the fact that you chose it, well done, you did it correctly.
Good job, Skylord.
Add it to my
Correctly.
collection.
The versatile Wild Turkey 101 and the potent Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Both of these bourbons hail from the legendary Wild Turkey Distillery in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Despite their common roots, they offer different experiences. Wild Turkey 101, known for its robust flavor, this bourbon is a favorite among those who appreciate a strong, well-rounded, balanced profile. Getting into the Wild Turkey Rare Breed, this is a barrel-proof bourbon that's straight from the barrel at natural strength without any dilution, but it's a meaningful bump from the 101.
Oh, wait.
Ta-da! Booze.
Booze, yay.
On the
On
left.
the nose. This one smells a little lighter.
Smells like bourbon.
You're getting so good at this. We're teaching you so well.
I own a distillery. Okay.
Vanilla.
It's hard to go wrong with vanilla and bourbon. Maybe a little
I'm just
oaky.
gonna say that for everyone.
On the left, number 1.
That one bounces around a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
it
a
does.
little.
Yeah, she
Just
does.
right in here.
And then on the right, number 2.
That one, not so much.
That one plays a little bit nicer.
What are we finding on the taste that we weren't finding on the nose? I, for one, finding a lot more apple on the number 1. Yeah, nose and taste. The brown sugar on the nose, definitely. Less so on the taste, more apple forward on the taste.
I'm actually getting an interesting note that I haven't gotten on this one before.
On number 2?
Yeah, slight mintiness on the mouth feel. Kind of an opener-upper.
Okay, so mint flavor or mint just that refreshing, cool texture type
It's
of...
the wind.
Yeah.
The wind's coming through. And then on the nose, like an uncarbonated kind of a Sprite syrup.
I feel the minty.
Oh, so only mine were correct, is what you're saying?
Generally,
Yes.
that's what I from the episodes that I've watched.
Interesting. Oh! What?
I'm the captain now.
I have a winner.
Okay.
The right
The one on the right.
Skylord chose!
This is the 101. Wild Turkey 101. The one that the Magnificent Bastards, the Whiskey Tribe, chose as the go-to, that's the one that you chose. The
Okay.
upgraded version, the rare breed, same exact mash bill. The difference is this is going to be cask strength. The most recommended bourbon for a beginner from the Magnificent Bastards in the Whiskey Tribes is right here. Buffalo Trace out of Frankfort, Kentucky. This bourbon is made from a lower rye mash bill and it is popular. So popular that some bourbon lovers are over it. Now, Blanton's, the original single barrel bourbon, comes from the same distillery. They are delivering different experiences though. This is from mash bill number 2 and it's known for its higher rye content, giving it a bolder, spicier profile. Okay, on the left, number 1.
Okay.
On the right, number
Okay.
2.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Woody, little oaky on the nose.
Which
on the
one?
left.
On the left.
On the
okay,
left.
On the nose. Okay.
This one's a little busier. Busier.
Busier. More going on.
Okay.
More going
Layers.
on.
More layers.
Good solid brown sugar on the left,
Okay.
the left.
Going.
as well as a supple plum.
I'm getting a not quite ripe plum.
I'm getting deep. Yeah,
Okay.
deep. Supple.
Crisp, sweet eucalyptus on the nose. On number 1 on the left. Then on the right, see, I'm getting more graham cracker, almost like the crust of a wheat bread. That's taste number 1.
I like that.
Anything unexpected on the taste?
It's not as warm on the taste, I'd say. I can
No.
see the eucalyptus more now on
Yeah.
the taste. I couldn't see it so much on the nose.
Taste number 2 on the right. What do we got?
All right. Oh, that one's got more berries for me.
Between the
It's
two.
lighter for me.
On which one?
On the right.
On the right, number 2.
On the
is
right,
lighter.
it's a little lighter.
Do you have a preference? What are you finding? On the left.
On the left.
All right.
The left.
So the one that you chose was the Buffalo Trace. The
Okay.
classic Buffalo Trace. The Blantons, it's kind of hard to get your hands on the Blantons. Same distillery. So here's the lineup that you
blend.
chose. You got your Buffalo Trace right here. You got your Wild Turkey 101 right here. You got your Maker's 46 right here. And then you got your Four Roses single barrel right here.
And now I must drink.
So you gotta figure out which is your favorite.
So-
All right, close your eyes.
Don't get confused.
You got it.
I'm gonna revisit all 4.
Skylord clears her throat.
Skylord feeling it. Skylord pounding the booze. Pounding
times in a
the
row.
booze.
Open mouth.
There is $100,000 riding on this choice.
1, 2, 3. The first one,
The Four Roses single barrel.
that was my second.
That's going to be the Buffalo Trace. Wild Turkey 101. Skylord, thank you for joining us. Obviously, we've taught you
Thank you.
absolutely nothing. Have you had our tequila, by the way?
I have.
And?
I am not a tequila person at all.
Yeah.
But this tequila has made me change my mind.
5 generations of tequila makers out of Jalisco, Mexico. That's why the tequila is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can grab our new Snakebite tequila right now in the description below.